There we go, that's better. How are you doing, guys? Didn't drop my phone in the process. How are you doing, guys? It's Friday night. Yes, that is right. Friday night is here. Yet again, another week has been and gone. It seems like that, how can I put it? It seems like these weeks are going very fast. It's also the first of July, but what more do you want? We've got the Chell Lawman BTCC Championship. That is right. It is the British Touring Cars. They are back in action, but we are somewhere different, you may think. What is this circuit? Well, it's actually Trail Mountains, and I think I am actually technically seeing if I'm heard on stream. Just give me 1 second, because I have a feeling I'm not. Hold on. Here we are, it's okay. That's better, we are heard on stream, so I do apologise for that. But yeah, we're going to be here at Trail Mountain, fictional circuit in the United States of America. But we have got round number 5 of the championship, races 7 and 8. I believe it's races 7 and 8 of the championship. I'll just double check my notes here. Yes, it is correct. It is races 7 and 8 of the championship. It is going to be tight, it is going to be twisty, but it is going to be close as well. If you've seen what happened at Sardegna last week, it seemed to be a lot of topsy-turvy. There was a lot of things ongoing, but looking at obviously the circuit at the moment, obviously bear in mind, don't worry about the cars glitching. It's just unfortunately it happened at the moment. So we'll see who's here and we'll see who's on the grid for tonight. It is 2 11-lap races, but obviously also a 10-minute qualifying session at 10 to 8 rather, to set the grid for race number 1, and then obviously race number 2 we'll have another quick 10 minutes to determine the grid for that. But looking at the times, then Dean Atkinson in the Rokit BMW, the Jake Hill livery, with a 203.365 at the moment. He's trying to push on, you know, you can see exactly how well he's going. He's a bit rally crossing there, but we'll see how well he can do. He was also opposite sharp end at Sardegna last week, but you know, a few issues dropped him thereabouts, but we'll see how well he can do tonight. Then you've got Rob Scholler in the second MB BMW. It is very interesting to see how well he's going to do. He's got currently Katanis in the APEC Motorbase Focus ST behind him. But you'll probably say, oh well, that's a Subaru and an Alfa Romeo. Well, yes it is, but to be professional, we use the proper manufacturers of the 2022 Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But then you've got Darren Baldwin then. I think Darren's actually driving with a bit of an aid this evening. I think he's got one of them spinners that lorry drivers use just to help him with the wheel, because he's still getting back to full fitness with his wrist, but he's in the Laser Tools Infinity. Yeah, we'll see how well he does tonight for this evening. He's going to be obviously pushing on. We'll see how well that goes for him. Then obviously you've got Nick, the founder of Eldar Sim. He's gone fastest this time with a 202.774 in the Rich Energy Honda. It seems to be working out for him, the BTC Racing livery, but pushing on. He was missing last week due to work commitments, but he's back on the grid tonight. But who knows, but he just gets pipped by of course Katanis. Katanis was thereabouts on Monday evening, if you remember rightly, in the Endurance League that Eldar Sim just started for Monday night, but he's thereabouts. But it is going to look very close and probably close proximity for him. But as I say, the times are getting very close at the moment. Who else have we got? We've got Brucey Collins in the Bristol Street Motors Accelerate car, the trade price racing with Accelerate Hyundai i30. I know it's a Hyundai Genesis, but it's in the right car and it is, well, the right manufacturer, should we say. But who knows exactly what tonight is going to bring. Don't worry about number 7, because I was obviously doing a quick lap round here before starting the stream, just to get an idea of how the track works. It's a bit technical in some points. You've got obviously the last corner is obviously into a tight chicane, and then obviously down the front straight, but should be a good, interesting circuit. I must admit, I've not raced around here much. You know, some of these guys probably have raced around here previously in maybe Gran Turismo 4 era, maybe Gran Turismo 3, but it's looking likely it's going to be a very exciting circuit for this evening. But looking at exactly what's going to happen then, I'm just going to make sure the stream is still up and running, so then I have a rough idea, but we'll try and push on. But if you are watching the stream, guys and girls, please do like and subscribe to Eldar and Racing. You do not want to miss the action for any of the racing, actually, because Monday was the Endurance Championship. I'll tell you what, it was a very interesting battle at Bathurst, but looking at exactly what's going to happen here for the BTCC tonight, it is going to be thereabouts. We've got around 7 drivers, because obviously the likes of Andy White's just coming in a second of the BTC Racing Hondas, but it'll be very interesting to see how many people we've got tonight for the 5th round of the championship. But who knows exactly what's going to happen, but as I say, Andy White in the second of the BTC Racing Rich Energy cars thereabouts. But yes, we're not far away from, of course, qualifying underway, but it is going to be a very close qualifying by looks of the lap times at the moment, though, with the likes of Katanis there. He's gone even faster this time. He's gone to 201.026 at the moment, so pushing the APEC Motorbase Focus ST around. But he's going to be thereabouts as Nick has a penalty. It's not forgiving this track for penalties either, but at least it's only a 5/10th, and it may be even better for this evening. But as I say, looking forward to seeing what tonight brings. It is obviously the only series to date at the moment on Friday night. We were due to have a GT Sport division, but unfortunately the numbers for that are low at the moment, so we are going to be probably only looking at potentially just the BTCC League at the moment, and I believe there was a BTCC League on the Monday on GT Sport. That is also low numbers at the moment, so you know, we're on GT7 if you wonder what game we are playing, but it's very good. And obviously you've got the one and only Hoppers and BTC Expert in the commentary box as per usual on a Friday. So yeah, you've got the joys and delights of me, unfortunately, if you don't like my commentary, but I'm sure you will. It's, you know, I do tend to get excited once the racing begins, but obviously when they're out practicing and whatnot, you know, it's very interesting to see exactly who's thereabouts. But obviously ignore me, because I'm not on the grid. I was just doing a lap before we came on there, just to get a rough idea how close this track is and how interesting it will be. As Brucey Collins has a bit of an issue there, and don't know exactly what happened for the Hyundai driver there, but picked up a bit of a knock there, so hopefully it's not damaged his car too much. But we'll go through exactly what the cars are here then. So you've got the likes of obviously Katanis, driven in period though by Sam Osborne, and of course Ollie Jackson in the Focus ST. But Obviously, you know, we know it's an alpha, but it's based on the Focus, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But the MB ones, the Rocket MB Motorsport is normally driven by, of course, Jake Hill. In the BMW 330E, but as Rob goes off there towards the latter half as he jumps into pit lane. Brucey Collins is in, of course, the Tom Chilton and, of course, Tom Ingram liveried, the Bristol Street Motors. It is a very nice looking livery, I must admit, but it is one of the best. And I'm going to say it's one of the best because the other one should be on track very soon, and that's the Dynamics Halfords and Chatterclean liveries by Brian Mulgarney, as well as Panos Forganis, just to get that out for that. But then you got Darren Baldwin, as I say, in the Laser Tools car, currently an Infinity Q50. It's driven by Aidan Moffat and, of course, Dexter Patterson in real life. The two Scottish contingents, but hopefully Darren gets on okay this evening for his so we're going to see if the other guys are going to make it, because otherwise it looks like there may be 7 drivers this evening, which isn't really going to be easy as that, but we'll soon find out very shortly. But as Darren goes top of the tree then with a, was it, oh yeah, it was thereabouts, he went a 2, I think that was on an outlap, because he's gone a 2-minute .774 there, but I don't know whether that was an outlap. It's not an outlap, beg your pardon. It was actually proper lap, but we've got Andy White then, just looking at the BTC Racing Rich Energy car, the FK Honda Civic Type R, driven by Josh Cook and, of course, Jason Plato, and, of course, Jade Edwards in real life. But a very shocking announcement if you follow British Touring Cars in real life, that Jason Plato is racing this livery for his final season in BTCC. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. We are just waiting for probably quite a few of the other guys. It is getting towards qualifying now, so cutting a bit sharp. I believe, speaking of Ash Sharp is missing tonight due to work commitments, but he is normally in the Rip Parfit Junior liveried Mazda Atenza, but it's based on the Infinity Q50. We did have 2 of them with the likes of Neil Smale, but unfortunately Neil Smale's got a few issues going on personally at the moment, so from what I believe, but hopefully he's back racing very soon. I believe Chris Wheatley was due to take his place in the Alpha, but with an Upper Racing liveried, driven by, of course, Ash Sutton, the reigning champion, as well as Dan Camish in period in real life. But I don't know if Chris Wheatley is making it this evening, but we'll soon find out who's making it. But we're waiting for, of course, Adam Morgan, who races not the British Touring Car Star, it is his namesake, it is the Welsh namesake. He's in the Car Gods with Sicily, the right livery for him, for his name, but it is an Alpha 155, but it is based on the BMW 330E. Not too sure whether Nath John's making it this evening, because it's going to be a bit of a moment. We're just going to see exactly, because we've got around a minute to go until qualifying does start, but I believe we're just going to wait until the other guys jump in. But if not, it looks like a very depleted grid this evening, which really isn't looking the best for the championship. But after tonight we head off to Germany, we head off to the Nürburgring on the GP loop. I believe it is going to be the GP loop, because if it was the Nordschleife we wouldn't be doing it, because it takes a long time for a lap. And then we head off to Brands Hatch, and then Blue Moon Bay, and then rounding up the season in, of course, Dragon Trails. I'm just going to see who has left me a message on stream. just thereabouts, but it's not now. Good evening, Darren. How are you, mate? How are things? I believe your spinner's working well from that comment, mate. I can't read that on stream. I'll probably get shot for that, mate. But yes, how are you? Good to see that you're doing very well, though, mate, with that, because you did set a good lap time, but then you just had it beaten by Rob Chell in the MB Motorsport car with a 159.9. It seems a very close proximity, though, between your times, though, I must admit. But yes, I'm doing okay, mate. You know, I'm sound. It's Friday, and what more do you want? BTCC is here for another week. But just gonna wait until the guys turn up. It looks like at the moment they are not, but it's a bit of a shame, really. I'm just gonna grab a quick drink, and I will be back in a minute. Do apologise for that. I just need a quick drink. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm absolutely sound. It's Friday. What more do you want? BTCC on a Friday. Can't ask for more. It's gonna kill my boredom of 5 weeks without the proper championship, because the proper BTCC championship are on their summer break at the moment. So this is gonna pass my time for 5 weeks. So yeah, I'm doing great, mate. Doing absolutely fantastic. I couldn't ask for more on a Friday evening, mate. I really couldn't. But should be a good night of racing, to be honest. Don't worry about me on the time screen if you're watching the stream, guys. I had a lap before you lot came on, and as much as you guys might think this circuit is interesting, I found it a bit technical, a bit too much for me, but nevertheless we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But it's looking likely that Rob Chell may be the first one. He's actually been a couple, I think he's been double winner. I think he won at I think he did the double at Sardegna last week, if I remember rightly. I think he won the last race at Red Bull Ring as well, in the murky conditions, but over in Austria. But Nick's just adjusting settings for qualifying. It looks like the likes of Brian Moncani and of course Panos and of course Adam Morgan aren't making it. Nate Fletcher isn't making it tonight, which is a big shame, really, because looking forward to seeing what Nate Fletcher could have done. But hey ho, we'll just have to make deal while as we get underway for qualifying in a moment or two. We're just getting that up and running now. Are we going to have any cars on track? No, we're not, because we will have now. There's a few on track now, so hopefully we get then quite a few on track. It looks like Katanis and I believe is Andy White, and of course then Dean Atkinson. The Ford versus the Honda and the BMW, but could be 10 minutes till race number 1, so maybe a slight delay. But looking likely a depleted grid for this evening at the moment, which kind of really a bit of a disappointment, really. But hey ho, we'll have to make deal with what we've got for this evening. But you know, we'll see what's going to happen. I think Nick's just adjusting his tyres, but I believe softs, mediums or hards can be used, but then obviously you've got to, if you use hards, then you either have to go on the softs or the mediums, and then if you're on the softs, hards or mediums, or if you're on the mediums, hards or softs. So depending on what race you use, obviously you have to swap over. But looking at the tow then between, of course, Dean Atkinson and of course Andy White at the moment, the Honda versus the BMW. going towards the latter half then. So we'll see what happens for 10 minutes of qualifying. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because times were a bit close in practice and they're getting there very slowly, but who knows exactly how close it's going to go as Brian Moncani just quickly jumps into the lobby. So luckily, hopefully he will get to set a lap time in, so it is going to be 8 drivers at the moment, but we'll soon find out if there's any more. But the Halfords with Cataclean driver goes in as Andy White peels into pit lane. But we'll see how well it pans out. There's another driver also in there, Rob Shoulders going into pit lane as well. But we'll see how quick these guys go. It's going to be very tense 10 minutes of qualifying. It is probably thereabouts, but as I say, it is 2 11-lap races tonight, so it is going to be closer than ever. The turnaround is probably going to be thereabouts, but looking at Katanis, he's on a mission. He's on a mission with a lot of interest. I think he had a race win. I think he's had a race win or thereabouts, but looks like Thomas Chivalier from Team Hards unfortunately not making it tonight either. So excuse me. There's Brucey Collins in the Accelerate Hyundai, got a 1.5 second penalty. Brian has been told it is qualifying, so maybe he'll go out on a lap, but fastest times that people are probably going to be, then it's probably the likes of Dean Atkinson will probably be the first to get a lap time, because bar any penalty, because I know Katanis has a 1 second penalty, so it's probably going to be there, but it will hurt him. But Dean Atkinson, and what's he going to do in the road kit BMW, pushing on. Multiple Eldar Sim race winner, multiple I think he's eliminated champion at VW Scirocco. Was he VW Scirocco champion? I believe he was. But he's been thereabouts, you know, he knows how to push the car to his capable knowledge, and he's thereabouts. And it seems that a lot of interest is going to happen for this evening, but I believe Dean Atkinson just coming through the latter half now. He's going through the final 2 turns. Touch wood, he doesn't get a penalty, and then he'll probably get the first clean lap of the qualifying session. So we're not far away from race number 1 starting, but obviously with the delays and everything, as Dean Atkinson goes to 201.488 at the moment. So Katanis goes down to, of course, second at the moment with that penalty. Brucey Collins is another guy, but he's up into 3rd. He's with a 203.957. Andy White though on a flying lap this time around. He's not on an out lap. He was on an out lap previously, but I believe Darren's just jumped out of pit lane again. He's just jumped onto an out lap, just so I think he changed tyres. I believe Nick's also in the pit lane. Brian Moncani's just sat out there. I don't know whether he's going to wait for a couple of minutes. It's got 5 minutes to go until race number 1 gets underway, but could be very interesting to see exactly what happens. Dean Atkinson, is he backing off, or is he just playing it safe as Katanis goes under the bridge? You know, you can just see how dark it is in them tunnels just to get there, but he's going through the latter half. Is he going to be able to get onto pole position? Let's see if he's going to be able to push that motor forward thereabouts. He's obviously no stopping him at the moment, because he has been on a mission. I think he's also been a race winner thereabouts, but he's pushed on. He did quite well on Monday night for the Endurance League, so he may be on a high from that, but see how quickly it's going to go. You can just see how fast and how furious it's going to get around here. I think it's going to be very interesting as Dean Atkinson peels into pit lane. We'll see exactly how well he does, but Katanis then going actually out of the final turn. He's about to cross the line now. What's he going to do? Is he going to go on to provisional pole position? Let's have a look in a moment or two as he crosses the line now. He goes at 2 minute .556, so you know it's fast lap time from the Motorspace driver there. But Brucey Collins is another one. He goes, still stays third though, so he's thereabouts. But Sandy White actually pips him to, of course, White was third, but then Rob Scholler, where is he? He's a 2 minute, was it? Yeah, 2 minute .2. So it looks like the MB BMW driver currently on the mission. Then he's trying to push on as best as he can. You know, this is what I like about the BTCC. Anything can happen, and then it changes within a flash. But just looking at, of course, Katanis going through the back end of the circuit, he's still on a mission. You know, is he going to be able to get back onto pole position? He's got a couple of minutes to go, but I think the likes of course, Brian Moncani, he's on an outlap in the Halfords Clean Honda at the moment. I know it's based on the BMW, but it's the only Halfords Clean car this evening. Nick is currently down in 7th. I don't know what's going on with Nick's BTC Racing Honda, but missed last week due to work commitments, but he's back tonight. He's made a statement that he's probably going to be on a mission, or thereabouts, I reckon. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Where is Katanis? He's going through the latter half now. He's going through the last 2 turns now. This is exactly where it's going to be all or nothing. He needs to string that lap time together. He needs to push on. If he can push on and get onto provisional pole position before qualifying does end. It looks like at the moment though he's about to cross the line and go on to provisional pole position, like I said, with a 159.835 at the moment with the Motorspace car. Literally, just see it hopping and skipping. He's obviously got the missions to literally push on, but Rob Scholler then with a 1.5 second penalty, that is going to hurt him, but he's pulled off there, so he knows for a fact Brian Mulcahy's on an out lap, I think. Brucey Collins is in pit lane, but is Brian going to be able to get a lap in, because it is 1 minute to go after this if he does, to get thereabouts. But let's have a look. Yeah, he's got a minute to go until qualifying does end. What's Nick doing? He's currently coming through the back end of the circuit. He's currently 6th fastest at the moment, trying to figure out exactly what's going to go on there for the BTC Racing car, BTC Racing with Rich Energy car, the Honda, with of course Josh Cook and of course Jade Edwards and Jason Plato. But he's about to cross the line and he goes, still stays 6th at the moment, so it's going to be thereabouts. It is probably going to be as a lot of interest then, as I do apologise for that. I'm not too sure exactly what's happened there as Nick's livery decides to disappear. But I'm just trying to figure out exactly what was going on there, but I think the guys are now going to be on their final pushing laps. I think we're probably going to have a few more laps thereabouts as Rob Scholler's pulled off at the end of lap number, the last couple of turns, should I say. But Andy White currently 2nd then in the BTC Racing Honda. It's going to get points for them, well, try and push on to get valuable points for them this evening. But we're going to see what Katanis can do. He's about to cross the line. Is he playing it safe because he knows qualifying is come to an end? But I think it's going to be very close as Darren crosses the line in moments. He's about to do that now. He still stays 4th. Looks like race number 1 is going to be up and running as he clips the barrier there. I think a bit of a sidetrack as the car looks a bit worse for wear, but we'll see exactly how it's going to look for race number 1 as Dean Atkinson does a bit of a burnout and a bit of a donut for us. But it looks like Brucey Collins is going to be the last on the grid. Then Brian Mulcahy actually literally goes 6th fastest in the meantime, but we shall see exactly what's going to go on. But could be very interesting for race number 1, just seeing what's going to happen with the likes of Katanis versus Andy White on the starting grid. I think we've got everything okay. Yes, we have. So we've got, of course, Katanis versus Andy White as the 5 red lights come on. The starting gantry, they're about to flip to green any moment now, and it's about to go for 11 laps round here at Trail Mountain. It looks like then Katanis has that Focus ST up and running very nicely. He's trying to make another race win. He's versus Andy White going into turn number 1. It's going to be very close with the likes of Rob Scholler. So it's a Ford versus Honda versus BMW versus Infinity, then the other Honda, and then of course the Hyundai versus the Hyundai versus the other Honda, the Halfords Ducati clean car. It looks like nose to tail, but I tell you what, all these drivers so far are nose to tails. Brucey Collins is under attack from Brian Mulcahy though, going into the second, I think it's the third turn here, I'm not too sure, but we'll soon figure out. But what is happening for the race lead? Is there a gap? But looks like Andy White under threat from the BMWs at the moment. He's got the BMW twins right behind him. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. It could be very close as that's allowing Katanis to get up the road and get away from these guys. He's literally nose to tail as the BMWs touching paintwork. They're going to hopefully not have team orders, but Andy White doing a stellar job for BTC Racing at the moment, trying to hold on for dear life in that second place. It looks like they're going to be nose to tail, but Dean Atkinson's the better of the drivers, getting that line so far. But the BMW, is he going to hop into second? Yes, he does. Just about. There's a bit of contact between Andy White and of course Rob Scholler, but I think the Honda and the BMW driver relatively got away unscathed from that. But Nick's currently right behind. Nick's on a charge from I think he was either 7th or 6th place in on the grid, but see what happens with the likes of course Darren Baldwin's on that attack, and that Laser Tools Infinity is thereabouts as Brucey Collins as well, the Hyundai driver, and of course as Nick gets a bit crossed up to about to complete lap number 1 out of 11, but it's Brucey Collins versus of course Nick and of course Darren and of course Brian Mulcahy with the Halfords Ducati clean car right at the tail of the field. But he is literally, as I say, these guys are catching each other up as best as they can, but that's allowing Katanis to still eke out that advantage with Dean Atkinson second, Rob Scholler for third, but it's a BMW 2-3 at the moment with Andy White's not BMW, the Honda, and of course fourth at the moment with of course Darren Baldwin's Laser Tools Infinity down in 5th place at the moment. He's on a mission to get up further up the grid, but Brucey Collins, let's see exactly what's going to happen with Brucey Collins. He's 6th at the moment. Nick's now down in 7th. That's a bit of a disappointment because he's literally pushing on Brian Mulcahy's Halfords Ducati clean, so the Hondas 7th and 8th at the moment, but obviously you can see when they go under the tunnel they are literally putting the lights on because it is dark in them tunnels. But Katanis for Motorsport at the moment leading the race, then he is thereabouts, but that means he's eking out advantage from the two BMW twins of Dean Atkinson and Rob Scholler. Rob tried to get a move, he clips his own teammate that's still trading paint, but Rob Scholler gets there into of course second place at the moment. He's going to be on a mission with the likes of Andy White and of course I believe that's Darren Baldwin. Yeah, Darren's right up behind the Honda. Laser Tools Infinity seems to be doing very well here at Trail Mountain. So far so good this evening. We're on to lap 2, but coming up towards the end of lap 2 to start lap number 3. This is absolutely close as you like between the likes of Andy White and of course Darren Baldwin. These two have raced against each other previously. Well, it looks like Brucey Collins is trying to push that Hyundai, the Accelerate car. He gets a bit loose out of the final 2 turns there, just about, but he's going to hold it together. He's still in 6th place at the moment, the likes of Nick and of course Brian Mulcahy. The from 2 down to 8, almost nose to tail, because it's like Katanis is up the road and he's like 4.7 away from these guys, but let's see what's happening. Is that battle still brewing for 4th place? Yes it is. Darren's literally on a mission. He's thereabouts, but He's got the Laser Tools car literally alongside the Honda as he trying to do it, but Andy White's getting that Triple 8 car away from, of course, Darren Baldwin, but Darren Baldwin's under a threat from the not the Laser Tools, the Accelerate Hyundai at the moment of Brucey Collins. Brucey Collins is in a Tom England racer. He's thereabouts, he's going to try and push on. Let's see what he's going to do, because I'll tell you what, could be a very interesting battle. Oh, was that Brucey Collins in the barrier? It sounded like it. He's dropped him down further away now from, of course, Darren and, of course, Andy White at the moment. But it's a very interesting night of racing so far. Nick's currently trying to chase after, of course, the Accelerate car. He's thereabouts, but it's going to be Josh Cook versus, of course, Tom Ingram. It's almost like the proper championship battle for BTCC in real life between the two liveried cars, but you just see how quick it's going. As Brian Mulcahy, oh, he's gone for a spin in the Halfords Regatta Clean Honda. It's pushed too hard there. That's going to drop him right further down now for catching up to these guys. And I'll tell you what, Brucey Collins then on a mission. He has a bit of breathing space away from Nick now, so Nick has to push on as Brian Mulcahy. Oh, I feel sorry for him. Spun around, and I'll tell you what, he's not going to be liking that. He will be kicking himself literally with the likes of Andy White and, of course, Darren Baldwin are all nose to tail. These three for fourth place, it seems. But it looks like Dean Atkinson is on another mission to try and get past his teammate, but he can't do that as of yet. But fastest lap at the moment is, of course, Katanis with a 2:01. It seems it's going to be very careful, but the Ford driver still leading the race then onto lap number 4 out of 11. Look at the gap he's already got. It's around 7 seconds from, of course, Rob Chell and, of course, Dean Atkinson. But what is happening? Oh, Brucey Collins. Oh no, what has happened to Brucey? He has left. That is a bit unfortunate for Brucey, as he had issues. That is unfortunate for the Accelerate driver. Hopefully he's back for race number 2. But he's literally now out of the running. He was doing so well catching them guys up. It looks like Andy White's got that gap from, of course, Darren now. So the Honda versus the Infinity looks like to be a bit of a close proximity. But Nick's still there, and of course 6th, and then of course Brian Mulcahy now 7th. But the Halfords Regatta Clean car, he's still down in, of course, 7th place at the moment. What's going on between the likes of Darren and, of course, Andy White? They're still battling for 4th place at the moment, but the battle for second and third is still brewing as well between Rob and, of course, Dean. As Dean gets a bit crossed up, he's got look at the battle scars on them. He's obviously clipped the wall, or he's clipped a few bits and pieces, but he'll be thereabouts. But it's almost very close. But I think the likes of excuse me, the likes of Rob and, of course, Dean Atkinson are there. But then you've got, of course, Andy White versus Darren Baldwin, the Laser Tools car versus the BC Racing with Rich Energy Livery. You can see Katanis just going up over the rise now. He's on a mission though. I wonder what is going on. Motorspace have dialed the car up very well in obviously testing and obviously going into qualifying, but looking at Darren Baldwin then, he's pushing on to try and get that 4th place, is he? I think Dean Atkinson's another driver that's going to try and push on. He's on the podium now already, so he doesn't need to make silly mistakes, but he's going to try and catch up to his teammate. Luckily we can tell their cars apart, because one's got white headlights and the other one has yellow, so it makes it a lot easier for the commentator as well as the spectators here at Trail Mountain tonight. But it looks like that Rob Chell is getting away then from Dean Atkinson, but it seems the cars are almost nose to tail. So Andy White's really on a mission though to try and push up towards the top 2, but still can't hold off Darren Baldwin at the moment in the Laser Tools car, with the likes of Nick still down there in 6th place. Brian Mulcahy still in 7th. He's not had a good night so far. He's had a bit of an issue in qualifying, then he's spanning right in the race, and then he's obviously going to try and push on. But Darren Baldwin Where is he? He was almost nose to tail, but you can just see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Andy White and of course Darren. These two have raced each other previously, but Rob's shoulder's got to gap from Dean Atkinson now, but Dean Atkinson is going to be falling into the clutches of Andy White and of course Darren Baldwin if he's not very careful. But look at it, Gatanis then, he's still got our fastest lap. He's tried to push on in the Motorbase Ford, going on to lap number 6 out of 11, so around roughly 4 laps to go in this race. Seems to be very careful, but let's have a look what's happening then, because I think Darren and of course Andy White are going to try and battle for fourth place at the moment. Nick's trying to catch them up as best as he can, but it just seems a bit of an unfortunate, not too sure exactly what happened to Brucey Collins, but hopefully he's back for race number 2. But then you've got Andy White trying to defend from Darren Baldwin. Darren's on a mission, you can just see that laser towards infinity. Oh, he's gone wide though, he's gone wide onto the grass. That is the last thing he wants, he's now got dirt on his tyres. He's going to have to be very careful when he comes back to try and push on, but is it going to be very close between the likes of Nick and of course Nick's still there in 6th, but Brian Marcani 16 seconds behind Nick at the moment. The poor old Halford Cataclysm racer not enjoying his racing at the moment. I think he's struggling at the moment, but you can see Katanis there literally on a mission for Motorbase. It's going to be very it's probably going to be a Motorbase victory, bar any mistake or bar any technical difficulties, but don't want to put the commentator's curse on them just yet, but you can just see Dean Atkinson on a mission to try and get away. It seems like the likes of Andy White literally on to trying to push on. He's trying to get onto the podium. I think he was trying to get thereabouts. He's had a bit of a rough and tumble season so far. He came in at the Red Bull Ring, but he's thereabouts now with the likes of Darren Baldwin. Laser Tools Scout, look at what he's trying to do. He is trying to be thereabouts. He is on a mission to try and catch up towards Andy White's Honda. It looks like a lot of things are going to be pushing on for the time being, but Nick's also there onto lap number 7 very shortly. So it's around maybe 3 or 4 laps to go in this race. But I tell you what, Katanis has got away from the second and third drivers at the moment. He's also, you know, fair play to him. He's not been under pressure, because the other guys are right behind us. Andy White tries to fire his way into turn number 1. He's literally catching up to Dean Atkinson in that BMW. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the likes of Andy White and of course Dean Atkinson. So the BMW versus the Honda. Nearly lost my bearings then, but it looks like the Rocket MB Motorsport cars are 2nd and 3rd at the moment. They're trying to push away from the likes of the chasing pack at the moment, but it sounds like Brucey Collins has got a few technical issues with the Infinity, and not the Infinity, the Hyundai rather. So I don't think he's going to be out for race number 2, though. That's a bit unfortunate for a multiple race winner in Elton Racing, but Katanis still leading the race then. He's about to go on to lap number 8, so he's got around 3 laps left. Yeah, it's three laps left of the opening race of the championship here at Chell Martins for round number 5 of the Chell Lawman Motorsports BTCC Championship, brought to you by Eldar Racing. But if you just joined the stream, welcome guys. Please do like and subscribe to Eldar Racing, as Dean Atkinson literally trying to now get closer and closer to his teammate. He's not, I don't think he's quite going to be able to do it, or is he? But see Andy White there trying to literally catch up to the top 2. He's broken away from Darren Baldwin, as I think Darren's literally going to be there for the Infinity. He's currently 5th for Laser Tools, but he's doing a very stellar job for that. But Nick's currently still in 6th place for BTC Racing, the two BTC Racing cars literally are in the top 6, so that's a very good showing for them. And then of course Brian Moncani in, of course, the Halford with Cataclean Honda rounded up the field in 7th. But look, what about this guy? It's going to be very careful to see what's going to happen between the likes of Rob Scholler and of course Dean Atkinson. But the MB Motorsport party may be spoiled if Andy White catches him up. The Honda literally nose to tail at the moment. He seems to be enjoying his racing. You know, he's pushed on quite a bit, but got around, of course, 3 laps left in this race. But it's going to be thereabouts as Darren's still there in 5th. Nick's chasing him down though. Excuse me. You know, it's going to be very careful between the likes of course, the Infinity as well as the Honda, and then poor old Brian Moncani. He's left that spin though. You know, I think with that spin it's not helped him, because he's trying to push on, but he's not done very well so far. Would have kind of tipped him for a few race wins, but I'll tell you what, the two MB Motorsport twins are almost nose to tail, going over the top of the hill towards the back end of the section onto the penultimate corners. It seems that it's going to be very close into the penultimate corner. Andy White's getting there very careful now, but I'll tell you what, with around 3 laps left of this race, it's going to be very careful, because 2nd, 3rd and 4th are nose to tail. But that's also going to be a battle for 5th and 6th between, of course, Darren Baldwin and, of course, Nick. Laser Tools Infinity so far holding off the Honda driver at the moment. Is he playing it safe, or is he just suffering slightly now? Who knows exactly what's going to happen, but I think Dean Atkinson, he's going to be pushing on. You know, Katanis is miles up the road. He's around 15 seconds, maybe 16 seconds up the road in a moment or two. But I'll tell you what, Rob Scholler still holding off from Dean Atkinson at the moment, it seems. But Dean's under pressure from, of course, Andy White. If he's not careful, he will be caught. But he's getting there, because Andy White's broken free from Darren. Well, that's going to be very careful. Nick's got a 5-second penalty. That's not going to help him. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Andy White. Is he going to get onto the podium for the first race of the evening? We'll soon find out. But look at Dean Atkinson. He's literally on a mission. He's trying to hold on for dear life. But is he going to concede 3rd place to that Honda? Is he about to do it? Oh, let's get close. As he does, yes, he's unfortunately conceded to the Honda driver, but he's got the BMW still dialed up. It looks like it's going to be nose to tail. But I'll tell you what, going on to the penultimate lap, this is going to be a fantastic battle between the pair of them. But I think the likes of course, Katanis, look at him, he's around 15.8 of a second from the rest of the field. He's about to go on to the penultimate lap then. But I'll tell you what, it seems a lot of incidents, but Nick's got past in front of Darren for that 5th place. As the Honda driver gets in front of the Infinity, is that going to be a lot of interest? But we'll soon find out, because Nick's got that penalty. But then, is that allowed Darren to close right up? I think it may have, but then the battle for 4th and 3rd, because that's allowed Rob Scholler to get away from these two. I think Andy White, but poor old Brian Moncani goes into pit lane, and I think they have Cataclean Hondas. Excuse me. Has got a slight issue, but you can just see Andy White powering his way through these corners. He's going to be thereabouts. He's 3rd on the road. Could be a very interesting podium for Andy White, but I'll tell you what, he's doing a very stellar job. But look at Katanis, he's like an absolute alien at the moment, driving the socks off that Ford. Wants to be thereabouts. I told you it was like 16.3 of a second now over these guys in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but Nick's still there trying to chase. I think Nick's trying to chase after these guys as best as he can, but It's thereabouts as Brian Moncani. I think he's had he's got a 1.5 penalty where he's gone on to the, I think he's done an outlap. I'm not too sure exactly what he's managed to do there, but it could be very interesting. We'll see exactly what's going to happen as Andy White still gets onto the podium, but we'll soon figure it out with the likes of Katanis going through the final two turns now and about to start the final lap. He is going to be over the moon. He will be one of the easiest racers out there. I think he's going to be making a force to be reckoned for with the likes of Thomas Chivalier missing, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Rob Shoulder clips the wall into the last turn. Doesn't want to be doing that too much because it will give him sort of a penalty there with Dean Atkinson trying to catch up. But it looks like with the likes of Nick and of course Darren, they're still battling Brian Moncani, but not had the best of luck. He's currently still on lap 10 out of 11. But what's happening for that? Oh, it looks like Andy White picked up a bit of air there going over the top of the mountain. It just seems that he clipped it, and I'll tell you what, he's fair play, but he's on a mission to try and get past Rob Shoulder for second place at the moment. Could be a very interesting battle. The two BMW, he's in a BMW sandwich though. But looking at Katanis then, he's on a mission. What is he going to make it 2 from 2 later on in race number 2? It seems that way at the moment, but I'll tell you what, fair play to him. He's not put a foot wrong so far this evening. Started on pole position. He's about to win another victory. He's obviously now going to be, not too sure what the championship standings are. I'll probably try and figure that out if I can in between the racing, but at the moment he's going through. But Rob Shoulder, is he going to lose out to Andy White? Is he going to, is he, or they're just going nose to tail, almost scraping paint. You know, if you see a bit of gold paint on the side of that BMW, you know the Honda's got wide, but it looks like we'll just quickly go to of course Katanis going into the final 2 turns now. Goes left and then he goes right. He's going to take the checkered flag. He will be delighted to take another victory this season. I'll tell you what, Motorspace will be delighted getting that checkered flag and coming home to take the race win. But I'll tell you what, Andy White, fair play, take a while to get second on the last lap from across Rob Shoulder. This is absolutely been fantastic so far. But it looks like Andy White will come home in second place then, with of course Rob Shoulder for MB Motorsport in of course third, and then of course Dean Atkinson, and of course then Nick and of course Darren 5th and 6th. So the Honda in a 5th, then followed by the Infinity in of course 6th place. Looks like Darren's had a bit of a palaver last lap, but I'll tell you what, Brian Moncani, not been the easiest night to race in for him. He spun round and then around 55.4 of a second gap. I think he's got some work to do in race number 2. But I think he will be there about. So we'll take the screenshots just while he goes around track. I'll just quickly do that, or do it in a second actually. Or just wait till he goes around and finishes the lap time, or the lap. So yep, race number 1 is complete out of 2 then. I'll tell you what, poor old Brian Moncani will be livid with that 7th place in race number 1, but I'll quickly get the race results while we just wait. So Katanis then won the race then from of course Andy White, so that's a very interesting result. So Motorbase from BTC Racing versus MB Motorsport, and MB Motorsport 3rd and 4th. Nick for BTC Racing in 5th with Dan Baldwin for Laser Tools, and of course 6th place with of course Brian Moncani for Halfords with Cataclean, and of course 7th place. But it is going to be very close to see exactly what race number 2 is going to happen. But it seems there's a lot of issues at the moment going on with the cars having a few issues thereabouts, but I tell you this, Katanis will be going into the next 10 minutes of qualifying, trying to push on. Will he make it 2 poles from 2? So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. We'll see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2. Just give me 1 second while I just have a quick drink. I do apologise about that, people. Just having a quick drink because I need to keep hydrated for commentary. But what can I do? But you know, it's one of them. But we are getting ready for race number 2 qualifying. Then it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to get on pole position. We are obviously entering the second race of the evening. Just having a look at. Just going to tell you how long race number 2 is going to be, because it's at 40, I believe it was 43, so it's from around 9 minutes. So yeah, so second qualifying session 10 minutes is underway. So we'll see what's happening. I'm not too sure whether race number 2 is actually... Yes, I can, mate. I do apologise. I had it turned off because it... There you go, mate. I do... Thank you, mate. I do apologise. You know, anything you need me to do, then let me know. That's fine with me. I don't mind, but... But we'll see exactly what's going to happen for race number 2. Yeah, it's a big shame for the lobbies to be quiet, but you know, what can we do? We'll see exactly what's going to happen for qualifying for race number 2 then, guys. What do we think's going to happen? Do we think we're going to get another domination from this guy in the Motorsport Focus, or do we reckon that another race winner's going to take the champagne and take the spoils this time round? But you know, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Oh, the lagging's annoying, Nick. It annoys me, but what can I do? You know. But I suppose it makes it a bit more interesting, but it's kind of frustrating when you know for a fact you're trying to commentate and then you see a lot of things and then the car jumps from one place to another. But, you know, hopefully we get it, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get it sorted soon. It's annoying, but... You'd think they would have had it sorted by the time the amount of updates they've done. But, you know, I'm not going to have a rant and rave on stream, but you know, I'd have loved to have seen them instead of but we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the second race qualifying then. Just looking at times as Katanis crosses the line. There was a 2-minute 1.771. Is he going to be able to smash his lap time for race number 2? But yeah, I do apologise. If you want the tyre degradation on, then that's fine. Sometimes I just don't like to see how fast people go. You know, I'd rather try and have a setup where you can just have the tyres, fuel, and potentially other bits and pieces. But you know, maybe one day. It's too much to ask for in one game, isn't it? You know. But it looks like Katanis then is currently setting the pace for qualifying for race number 2. Dean Atkinson is there. I almost had a heart in the mouth moment. I thought the game had crashed then for me. I would have cried if that had happened. Darren Baldwin still is purple in that sector, so is he going to go on to provisional pole position? He's currently 4th. But is that 4th because of a outlap, or is it very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen? But we'll see exactly how quick it's going to go. But like to Andy White, Brian Mulcahy, and of course Nick sat in pit lane at the moment. I think they're just playing it safe, which to be honest with you, I don't blame them. It's a topsy-turvy world, but we're around 4 minutes away, maybe 3 minutes till race number 2 gets underway for the final time this evening, the second 11 lap encounter. But Darren is about to cross the line. What does he do? Goes top of the tree with a 2-minute 1.271. So the Laser Tools driver currently on provisional pole position. Then is that going to be enough to put him on pole position? He's got 3 minutes to go until, or maybe another couple of minutes to get underway, but he's not, because Katanis has beat him. It looks like the Ford driver is currently with a 2-minute point 8:15. So you know he's very quick. He's race number 1 winner. He's obviously on a mission, I suppose. The way things go for him, he's thereabouts. But Darren's also there. But I think Darren's trying to push on for podium or even second place finish this time round in race number 2. But obviously it's still qualifying for race number 2. But you know, it says no stopping on that sign. He's gonna have to stop at the other end because there is a corner. So I don't understand why there's no stopping signs there for him. But there's no stopping Katanis at the moment, though, is there? So if you pardon the pun, but he's obviously on a mission. But you can see Darren quickly going through the second half. I think we're going to have an extra couple of minutes for qualifying because of the lateness of race number 1 getting underway. But Darren's going through the latter half of the section now. Is he going to be there to get onto provisional pole position, or is Katanis going to beat that record? He's not, it's going to be very hard to, not hard to tell, but probably thereabouts as Darren crosses the line very shortly. He's going through the latter half. Has he strung a lap together to get onto pole position? No, he hasn't. Still stays second for race number 2. It does look like Katanis versus Darren versus Dean versus Rob, then of course Andy White, Brian, and then of course Nick are your 7 runners for race number 2. Brucey Collins, unfortunately, the Hyundai is having a bit of a nightmare with Katanis. Smashes into that barrier. I think he's trying to celebrate that he's on pole position again for race number 2, but we'll see exactly how close that's going to be. I don't know whether that's against the rules in qualifying, but you never know. I do apologise, bit of a hiccup there. But race number 2 then is a moment away, so sit back, grab a drink, enjoy the stream, and let's see who gets away with, of course, a race win. We may see Katanis get away with another race win, or we may see Darren Baldwin get on to the podium, or even a race win. It'd be nice to see Darren get a race win. But we are ready for race number 2 then, the second and final race of the evening. It just seems like we're going to be in for a very close action-packed race then, but who knows what's going to happen for the Chell, Lawman, Motorsport BTCC. But let's have a look then as Katanis versus Darren Baldwin on road number 1, as the 5 red lights are about to come on to starting gantry, as well as they're taking the time. It's a bit delayed there as we get the green flag from the back of the grid as the 5 red lights actually do come on now. A bit later than planned. I was about to flip to green, and race number 2 is about to kick off. Who's going to get the jump? Looks like Dan's got a bit of a jump there, but it looks like the 2 BMW drivers literally trying to swamp, of course, Darren Baldwin for that second and third place at the moment. It looks like Dean Atkinson's trying to make shades of race 1, but Katanis get to Dean and start yet again. So the Ford driver getting away from the chasing pack, but I'll tell you what, it's looking very feisty. But as we go under the tunnel for the first time round, but it looks like the 2 BTC Racing Hondas are literally 5th and 6th at the moment, with of course Brian Moncani in the Halfwoods with Cat Clean Honda, of course, in 7th place at the moment. But it seems a bit more weird this time round, I think. Excuse me. There's Dean Atkinson there is, of course, trying to push away from his teammates, but he's got Rob behind him at the moment. I believe Dean's on the hards, and of course Rob's on the hards for the tyres. Katanis is on the medium, so it could be very interesting as the two BMW twins still have a battle. They battled in race 1. But Rob Scholler gets into second, then from, of course, Dean Atkinson with the likes of Andy White's BMW. Brian Moncani, though, is obviously down in 5th place. It looks like Nick. Oh, he's got 4-second penalty. That is not good. I think Darren's actually really having a bit of an issue. I think there's a lot of issues going on at the moment, but no idea how it's going to pan out for the rest of the race. But going on to lap number 2 very shortly, as the likes of Rob Scholler and of course Dean Atkinson and of course Andy White. These guys were battling for the final spots on the podium in race number 1. Brian Moncani in 5th place, and he is going to be now delighted probably with that. But Nick's got a 4-second penalty, no idea how, but he's going to be livid with that. He will be livid. He will have to get rid of it. He will be getting rid of, because it will force him to literally slow down. And I think he's not going to like that, because that's now dropped him down to the tail of the field. Well, Katanis literally at the moment still leading the race then, with Rob Scholler and of course second at the moment with Dean Atkinson in 3rd, but he's got Andy White for company. The BMW versus the Honda driver literally nose to tail. Is he going to be able to get past Dean Atkinson for that 3rd place? Is he going to get back onto the podium? We've got a podium race number 1, but it seems a lot is going to be taken between now and then. But Brian Moncani, fair play. Oh, he's got a 1-second penalty though. The Halford's Gatlin driver does not need that. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I think Andy White's going to try and battle to get onto the podium this time round. I think he will be. He's still got a long way to go. We're still on lap 2 out of 11. The circuit's around 2.1 of a second. I think Dean Atkinson, did he have his hazard lights on, or was it his brakes? As Andy White gets through onto the BMW driver, he's got thereabouts. He's going to try and... But I tell you what, the battle for the lead is brewing, because I tell you what, Katanis hasn't had it all his way so far this evening. He may have had race 1 and double pole position, but he's not going to have another race win if he's not careful, because Rob Scholler is now there. He's on a mission to literally get past the Ford driver. He's got Andy White's Honda right behind him. Got to be careful. Brian Moncani, where is he? Still there. Was Darren Baldwin still in 6th place in the Infinity, and Nick's Honda is still there in 7th. But I'll tell you what, it's getting closer and closer between these guys at the moment. Who knows exactly what's going to happen, because Katanis there still leading them with a 2:02 this time round. Seems the cars are coming alive a bit more. I think Katanis' medium tyres are literally going to be wearing and tearing as the race goes on. We're on lap 3 out of 11. Excuse me, but did you see the likes of Rob Scholler versus, of course, Andy White? They're trying to battle. So it's Ford versus BMW versus Honda at the moment. It's going to be very close between the pair of them, but Dean Atkinson 4th and Brian Moncani in the Halfords with Cataclean Honda. Obviously in 5th place at the moment with, of course, Darren Baldwin's Laser Tools Infinity down in 6th. Nick's Honda in 7th. Nick's had a bit of a disaster, but it looks like Rob Scholler is under pressure from Andy White. Andy White is actually, I don't know what he's eating for breakfast this morning, but he's obviously on a bit of a charge. He's literally trying to get past Rob Scholler for that, of course, 2nd place. Is he going to try and make it 2 second places? Or is he going to dispatch? Oh, he's dispatched Rob quite well. Absolute stellar stuff from the Honda driver. And he's going to have to now chase after the Ford driver as best as he can. I think, you know, what's going to happen this time round? Are we going to see another winner, or are we going to try and push on? It seems like Rob Scholler is there, but it's hard to tell at the moment between the likes of course, Katanis. He's going to go down to the bottom 2 corners, the final 2 corners of the track. Still leading the race at the moment. He's not had the fastest lap, just Darren's taking it away with a 2:08.55 at the moment. But I'll tell you what, it's getting close between second and third again, but it could be very interesting. We'll see exactly how close the Ford driver is pushing away though, with Katanis who's trying to push on, with the likes of Andy White still there in second, Rob Scholler third, Dean Atkinson still fourth, Brian Moncani under pressure from, of course, Darren Baldwin's Laser Tools Q50. He's going to be thereabouts, but I'll tell you what, onto lap 4 out of 11. And then Nick is still there in 7th. Poor Nick has a bit of a nightmare this time round. But you can just see Andy White in second place, with Dean Atkinson now into third. Then Rob Scholler with a 3-second. Oh no! He's picked up 3-second penalty. BMW driver, oh, it's not going to be liking that. With the likes of Darren and of course Brian Moncani now has to concede to, of course, Darren Baldwin's Infinity, the Halfords Cataclysm car. Not having the best nights of racing at the moment. Nick's still there, but I'll tell you what, I think the likes of Katanis and of course Andy White, they're going to be battling. I think the Triple 8 car versus the number 11 car are going to be nose to tail very shortly. I think it could be a Ford versus the Honda yet again, like it was in race number 1 towards the end of the race. But I'll tell you what, it could even come towards the midway point of the race though, with Dean Atkinson pushing on. It seems to be very interesting between these guys at the moment. Dean Atkinson still third. We'll see exactly what's going to happen between the likes of Andy White and Katanis, but we've got around 6 laps to go then. Still in the race number 2, it seems like, you know, it's not even the halfway stage yet. But looking at this then so far, with the likes of course Andy White and then of course Dean Atkinson thereabouts. But I'll tell you what, Rob Scholler has that 3-second penalty. That is going to allow Darren up into 4th, is it? Maybe. But we'll soon find out exactly how that's going to pan out between the pair of them, because Darren's on a mission with that Q50. Yeah, he's got through. He's got through on Rob Scholler for that 4th place, so he's did well to get it on second on the grid for race number 2. But I'll tell you what, the Infinity, oh, he's clipped the curb. He's almost lifting up onto 2 wheels going onto them curbs there. But Darren's had a bit of an issue. Oh, that's pushed Rob Scholler onto the back foot again. But is that going to be thereabouts? Brian Moncani's Halfords with Cataclysm car gets a bit sideways. But I'll tell you what, it's a bit unfortunate as Andy White tries to still chase down Katanis. The Ford driver versus the Honda. It's not easy at the moment. It's not been easy, I'll tell you that for next to nothing. It's pretty much a weird night of racing so far. But we'll see exactly how close it's going to get, because Katanis is still there, with of course Andy White still second. Dean Atkinson trying to catch him up as best as he can at the moment, but who knows exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Darren Baldwin 4th, with the likes of Rob Scholler now 5th, Brian Moncani still 6th, and poor old Nick, he's not had the best second race so far. He's actually nose to tail. I don't know whether he, with that penalty he had earlier on, has hampered him. He's on the mediums with Brian Moncani on the hards, but the Hondas are at the tail of the field at the moment. But Katanis then on to lap number 6 with around 5 laps to go then. With this race, to, you know, the second race of the evening, he could make it 2 from 2. He gets the fastest lap with a 2:06.98. I'll tell you what, it's looking very feisty. Oh, who was that in the wall? That was Rob Scholler with a into the wall. It looks like his Subaru's wounded, or should I say his BMW, should I say. He's wounded. He's got a 1.5 second penalty. That is going to be hurting him next time round. Brian Moncani's still there in 6th place in the Halfords Cataclysm Honda. And the other BT Racing with Rich Energy Honda with Nick Sargent currently in 7th then. It looks like a bit of a lonely race for, of course, Katanis now. He's thereabouts, but it's getting a bit feisty as ever. But we'll see how it's going to go with Andy White still second, Dean Atkinson third, so the Honda versus the BMW for second and third at the moment. But Darren Baldwin's Infiniti Q50 is thereabouts. He's on the softs though, and they're really worn at the front. Oh, he's pushing on quite a bit. He's nearly pushed himself into the wall. But Rob Scholler, he's on a mission. He will be getting maybe that 4th place back, because I'll tell you what, the Infiniti's tyres are getting very worn very quickly now around here at Trail Mountain. But you can just see Andy White trying to push on. He's around 2.9 of a second from the Ford driver now, with Katanis trying to push on as best as he can. He's about to go on to 4 laps left of this race. I think it's going to be another lights to flag victory, bar any mistakes or any issues, but we're yet to see, because Andy White may be hunted for his win of the season. I think it was his first win, maybe his second win, I'm not too sure, I can't remember exactly if he's won a race this season so far. Dean Atkinson out in the road kit BMW, still third at the moment, so it could be shades of race 1 as Darren goes into pit lane. Then he's obviously realised the tyres aren't the best, and they're not really making pit stops in these races, but I think he's realised the softs are getting worn very badly on that Infiniti, so he goes into pit lane. Brian Moncani 5th then, with Nick now down in 6th, now chasing after Brian Moncani's Halford Clean Honda. It's the Honda, sort of the rival sister team of BT Racing, as well as Halford's with Clean, as Darren's in pit lane. That's almost now going to put him down. Road shoulders with a 1 second penalty now. He's not had a good second race this time round though, but could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Dean Atkinson still trying to chase after the Honda of course Andy White, but the BMW driver literally nose to tail. We'll see exactly how that's going to pan out between the pair of them, as Katanis still leads the race then in that Ford. He's obviously knowing what he's going to do. I believe he may take the championship lead going into towards the Nürburgring. I'll try and figure out the point situation next week and see who's wearing the championship. But Andy White, he's on a strong showing tonight, but Dean Atkinson's getting that BMW up to now tyre pressure. I think the medium tyres are now slowly but surely starting to hurt more as the race goes on. But we're on to lap 7 then, out of 11, so probably around 3 laps left this time round. I'll tell you what, it's going to be very close, but Rob Scholl's going to have a bit of a disappointment. There's a bit of a battle between Nick and the two Honda twins. Obviously the Halfords with Cataclean versus the BTC Rich Energy squad. They're not going to like it when they know for a fact the car's the same as each other, but the Honda drivers, the BTC Racing Rich Energy car seems to get ahead of the dynamics. Poor old Darren though, down in of course 7th place at the moment. He started so well for race number 2, you know, I was going to tip him to get onto the podium, but it looks like very slim now. And I'll tell you what, I don't mean that in an offensive way, I mean that like he's literally going to now have to go and push on. It's going to be thereabouts, but I'll tell you what, Andy White is going to be pushing. You can see Katanis there in that Motorbase Ford, literally 5.1 is the gap. Andy White still under pressure from the course Dean Atkinson's road kit BMW's Bob Shoulder, now under pressure from the second of the BTC Racing Hondas of course Nick Sargent with Brian Moncani's Halfords with Cataclean car. And of course 6th place at the moment. It seems that there's a lot of interest between the pair of them, the two Hondas chasing after the BMW. It's almost like Andy White versus Dean Atkinson, where what's happening with their battle with around 4 laps left of the race to go. It seems that race number 2 seems to be at the moment going Katanis' way yet again. Very established racer now, he's thereabouts. Oh, got to be careful that he doesn't clip the wall in that Focus, because if he does it'll cost him dearly. But Andy White at the moment holding off from Dean Atkinson. So the Honda driver versus the BMW driver as Dean gets the power down. Is he going to be able to? Is he going to be able to get past the Honda this time? Just see exactly how it's going to get between the pair of them. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. Oh, as Dean does it, absolute stellar moves to get back into second place then. So the MB Motorsport driver into second with, of course, their teammates having another battle, fourth and fifth, between the likes of Rob and, of course, Nick. The MB versus BC Racing cars are literally second, third, fourth and fifth at the moment, which seems to be quite an interesting moment. But you can just see Katanis there, literally nose to tail. Well, not nose to tail, because he's miles out in front. He's around 6.3 of a second, but you can just see the exactly the tyre degradation. It seems that the medium tyres are literally not performing up to standard now. I think the hards are just getting there slowly but surely, but you can see where Nick is. He's on the mediums, but he's not caught to Rob Chell just as of yet though. With around 3 laps to go, but I tell you what, Brian Moncani, he's on the hards, but he's going to have to try and push on with that Halfords clean Honda to get away from Darren. Darren's Infinity is now around 2.6, maybe 2.8 of a second. Well, it's dropped to 2.5, I beg your pardon, but Katanis then still leading. But I'll tell you what is happening for second and third, is it? Dean Atkinson probably wants second place more than he wants third. With the likes of Rob Shoulder and, of course, Nick's literally nose to tail now, going down the back straight. Seems a lot of power for that Honda to get past the BMW. They're almost equal. Nick's got the better line though. Rob Shoulder's got a bit wide, but BMW driver literally holding off for fourth place at the moment. But it's going to be thereabouts, isn't it? Let's see what's going to happen for fourth and fifth at the moment. So it could be very interesting for second and third. Are we going to see Dean Atkinson back onto the podium with, of course, Katanis now on the penultimate lap of the race? He must be laughing inside that car, thinking, you know what, you guys, you battle, I'm going to maintain that advantage. But he's the sole driver this evening. That's obviously based it on the Alfa Romeo 155. There's not quite a few drivers, obviously, like we said, there was 8, but now there was 7. It's a bit unfortunate, but Rob Shoulder's still holding on for fourth place at the moment as he goes on to the penultimate lap. Nick's still there, but except Brian Moncani, he's got Darren. Oh, Darren's caught him back up. So the Laser Tools Q50, the Infinity versus the Halfords clean Honda. It's Belgium versus England. As Darren puts the hazard lights on, not too sure why, but I think he was lining up a move on, of course, Brian Moncani, and Brian now drops back down to 7th. He's not happy with that, but Nick's dropped back a bit now from, of course, the BMW. The BMWs that are, you know, Dean Atkinson still there in second. Katanis, he's doing very well, but look at the tyre wear on that Focus. He is thereabouts, but he's going to be hopefully 2 from 2. Darren's got the fastest lap this time round with a 2:03.22 of a second. That is an absolute stellar lap time from the Infinity driver. But Dean Atkinson in second then. But Andy White, look at the tyres on that Honda. It is not the best. It's not handling to its capabilities. The Hondas, the BT Racing Hondas on the mediums, they are suffering at the moment, and I mean they are suffering. But I'll tell you what, Nick is still there in 5th, Darren in 6th, and Brian Moncani in 7th for Halfords with clean. It is a bit of a sad end for, of course, Brian Moncani this evening. 7th in race 1 after a spin, 7th again in, of course, race number 2. But going on to the final lap then is, of course, excuse me, is Katanis there in the Focus. He is going to be taking another lights to flag victory. I'll tell you what, he must be enjoying his racing at the moment. Dean Atkinson there still in second at the moment, with the likes of Andy White still third at the moment as well. So been a good night for Andy White, second in race 1 and then of course third in race number 2, so must be something must be going right within the BT Racing camp at the moment, trying to push that Honda into the podium positions. No obviously disrespect to Nick, but Nick's currently 5th in the second of BT Racing Hondas, but he's thereabouts with of course Dan Baldwin, of course now 6th for Infinity, the latest tools car with Brian Mulcahy, Halford's with a clean car, powering his way through the first 2 turns, but Katanis then absolute on a mission to try and get the race win. Is he going to get the fastest lap on the final lap though? At the end, it's yet to be seen. But I tell you what, Katanis will be taking another lights to flag, and we'll see exactly how close that is going to be. But who knows what's going to happen, because Katanis goes through the last couple of turns now. He's about to go through the last 2 turns of the lap, and he's going to take another race victory in the Eldar Sim Chell Lawman BTCC Championship. And I'll tell you what, he may be championship leader going into next week. But I'll tell you what, fair play to him. He has done another lights to flag victory. And I'll tell you what, where has the speed come from the Ford driver? He is going to be delighted with that. And I'll tell you what, fair play to him. Dean Atkinson in second, then with of course Andy White third. I'll tell you what, MB Motorsport and of course BTC Racing, they've provided some decent battles tonight. Fair play to each and every one of these guys that have stuck at it. Rob Scholler in 4th then. Bit of a slow start to the evening, and then obviously tried to pick up the pace in both of the races there. But I tell you what, fair play to him. And of course Nick in of course 5th for BT Racing, still stayed there with Darren Baldwin for Laser Tools, was tipping him to get onto the podium for race number 2. But I tell you what, the Infinity will come home in 6th place. I don't think it's been a very easy, and it's probably been a very difficult campaign this evening. Brian Mulcahy comes 7th for Halfords with Cat Clean. He will be maybe working on that, but we'll get the screenshots for the race results. And I'll tell you what, it has been a bit of a weird topsy-turvy night of racing, I'll tell you that, with the likes of course Katanis taking the race victory from of course Dean Atkinson, of course Andy White for the top 3. I'll tell you what guys, my voice is well and truly going, but I'll tell you what, it has been a very close night of racing. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next week at the Nürburgring when we go there, and then hopefully we should be in for a cracker night of racing there. But until then guys, I've been Hoppers for Eldar Sim Racing. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you Monday for round number 2 of the GT Hour Endurance race, because I will be in the comments box for that as well. But I'll see you then. Enjoy your weekend. Take care guys. Ta-ra.